Hey, this video is all about lip lines or lip wrinkles, the wrinkles that happen just above the upper lip and sometimes below the lower lip as well, and sometimes within the lip that can bother quite a few people. And it starts to bother people when they're doing myofunctional therapy because they are looking at their faces so very often. And so they're starting to notice all these different things that are going on. And so they're improving some things, and yet they're noticing that some things that they hadn't noticed before. So anyway, this is to talk a little bit about lip wrinkles and just to kind of give you some ideas about how to prevent them, or if you already have some lip wrinkles, how to reduce them. I will say that once you've got lip wrinkles, it's very hard to reduce them completely. You might be able to do so, but sometimes all we can do is reduce them. But there's a few different reasons why lip wrinkles happen. And one can be if a person has lost quite a bit of weight in a short period of time. So anytime a person loses a lot of weight in a short period of time, there's going to be skin folding. And that can happen anywhere on the body. It can also happen in the face. And so if the person has lost weight in the rest of their body, then they're going to lose the fat in their face. And if you lose quite a bit of that, then the skin can create little wrinkles because the skin is not used to not having that fat to support it. And so it has to take some time for that skin to figure that out. And there's a few things that you can do to help the skin figure that out. But if you're in the process of losing weight, then it is a good idea to try to lose that weight over a period of time that isn't so very fast that you're seeing skin folds. There's a few other reasons as well. Sometimes it can happen with just being out in dry, arid climates like Utah. If we are out in the sun quite a bit and we're very, very dry, we're not supporting the collagen in our faces, then all of that is going to contribute to the look of lip wrinkles because it will contribute to dryness and wrinkles just kind of anywhere. And then also using this muscle right here overly so. Anytime we use a muscle too much, that's not a great thing. Just like not using it enough is not a great thing. What I mean by that is a lot of people have Stanley cups, right? My mother actually just gave me this one a couple of months ago, and I was like, it has a straw. So I obviously don't love straws because it holds the tongue down. And then the tongue cannot be up at the spot when swallowing, right? Because if I'm sitting here drinking, my tongue is being held down, and that's not supporting the bone and the teeth in my mouth. And I want my tongue to do that. But also using any other small type things. Now, this one does not force me to keep my lips around it completely, but I can. If I'm in the habit of doing that, then I'm going to be pursing my lips over and over and over all day long with either one of these. Now, with this one, I can actually leave my lips a little bit more wide, and so my lips aren't coming in with that tight orbicularis oris muscle. In fact, if I may, I'm going to show you real quick. It is this muscle right here, and it literally just circles around the mouth. It is a sphincter muscle, and it brings things in, which is a good thing. We needed to do that. But if you're using it all day long because your mouth is tightening up around a small opening, then using something that has a bigger mouth opening, like a cup. Anytime you're at home, please use a cup. That's going to help. If you're using this kind of an opening, or it's just slightly wider than a straw, you can leave your lips a little more open and still not spill, right? I'm not tightening my lips around the opening. I'm leaving my lips open, and I'm not getting those wrinkles in my mouth from tightening up that orbicularis oris all day long. Another reason that people can be getting lip wrinkles or looking like their face is getting quite a few wrinkles in the mouth area is if their teeth are quite worn down. So the teeth do help support the muscles. The muscles help support the teeth, and the teeth help support the muscles. But if the teeth are worn down and they're like half the size that they ought to be, then the lips are going to be folded over, and we're going to see a lot more lip wrinkles. If the teeth are quite crowded, then not only do we not have very much tongue space if the teeth are quite crowded on each other, but we also have less lip space. That means that those teeth are not as wide as they ought to be, and they're not supporting those lips and holding them out. And the lips are then allowed to sit in and create those little folds. So what can we do about it? You can get braces and open that mouth back up, or possibly get some help building those teeth back up. Those are two fairly expensive things as compared to all the other stuff that I'm going to talk about. But if the teeth and the bone do not have the space that the muscles need, or that the skin needs in order to look more full and in order to exist well, if the teeth are crowded or very, very short, then fixing those is going to help the face look more full, because it will help give the space that the muscles and the skin and the fat all need in order to sit correctly around the bone and teeth structure. What you can do for the skin itself is help support the collagen. Now, collagen comes from animal products, especially animal fat. So getting some animal fat in your diet is super important, in my opinion. I'm not a dietitian, but from everything that I've read, animal fats are where we get our fat-soluble vitamins, your A, E, D3, K2. A lot of people think of carrots as getting a vitamin A, but that's actually beta carotene. It's the precursor to carotene, beta carotene. And so when an animal eats that, an animal turns it into vitamin A. And so when we eat that animal, we get the vitamin A that has been created, which is great. In order to keep those vitamins in our body, we do need healthy fat. Something else that can help is topical retinoids. Retinoids are a derivative of vitamin A, and that can help the collagen stay in this area. And so using a clean version of that, as clean as you can find, and putting that right on top of your lips. Now, using a thin amount, a very small amount, is going to be the best way to do that, because topical retinoids can cause some peeling of the skin as well. And so you want to be kind to your body, maybe not use it every single day, but it can be something that can help support a more full look around the lips. Collagen in the skin tends to break down around the age of 40 or later, and that can happen for a few different reasons, but something that you can do to help keep that collagen more stable is to take in a lot of vitamin C. Vitamin C helps protect collagen, and if our bodies are low on vitamin C, then we're going to be struggling with keeping the collagen there as well. In fact, this is one of the reasons that smokers get these wrinkles around their lips even more so than people who don't smoke. And they're getting those lines because the toxins in tobacco, cigarettes, and things like that are actually breaking down the vitamin C, and the vitamin C is working so hard to fight off all of those toxins that their body really just has no more vitamin C in order to help protect the collagen. Also, using red light. Red light is really cool. Please be careful with red light as well. Just like you don't use a lot of topical retinoids, you don't want to use a ton of red light. When red light first came out, people were like, yeah, stimulate the cells, make them work the way they're supposed to, make them work harder, make them stimulate all the stuff that they're supposed to be doing to get those cells to work for us. Well, that's great, except that the cells only have so much they can do within a certain time period, right? What I mean by that is they only have so much nutrition, they only have so much energy, and so you want to stimulate those cells to do what they're supposed to do, especially the collagen cells. You can literally put a red light mask on your face or hold a red light towards your face and allow it to sit there for a few minutes, but you want to keep it less than 5 minutes if you're just focusing on something thin like the lips. There's not a ton of structure underneath the lips. It's just teeth, right? And red light isn't going to help teeth as far as I understand. It might help the gums. It's not going to help the teeth. So the reason I say that is because a lot of people will put red light on and they're like, if a little is good, a lot's even better. And that's not true. If you're stimulating the cells via red light therapy, then you want to just use it for a few minutes, because if you use it for 5 minutes or more and you're focusing on something that is thin, then those cells are going to be stimulated for a while. They're going to really get going. Those mitochondria are going to really get to work, and then they're going to run out of energy and they're going to depress. So the studies show that if you use it for 5 minutes or more in an area that is close to the surface, then you will start to depress those cells. And if you constantly do that, you're going to be using that red light therapy for 5 minutes or more each day, and you're depressing those cells. You're exciting them and then depressing them. And then and then the skin cells have to get back to regular production, and that's going to take a little while. And so if you're doing that every day, that can really depress all of those cells, and you're going to be like, hey, this red light therapy stuff does not work. Well, it's because you're using it too much. You're overly exciting the cells for too long, and you're depressing the cells. Depressing meaning not like, oh, I'm so sad, but depressing the work of the cells, making wearing them out. And so that's not a great idea. If you are using red light therapy on another part of your body and you're trying to get deeper into that part of the body, you would use it for longer than 5 minutes on that part of the body because you're trying to get the red light deeper into that part of the body. But just know that whatever is closer to the surface is going to be depressed as you're trying to excite whatever is going on deeper inside the body. So just keep that in mind. Depending on what it is you're using the red light therapy for, if it's closer to the surface, use it for less time. If it's deeper, then you need to use it for more time. And please do your research on that to figure out what it is you need to do. But I just don't want you using red light therapy for, tons and tons of time, sitting there for an hour using your red light therapy, thinking that you're doing something that's so great for your cells, when really the cells are like, oh my goodness, we cannot work any harder. Like, what are you trying to do to us? Another thing that is pretty simple is moisturizing. I actually use organic castor oil. I think it's fantastic at moisturizing the skin. I used to have a problem with acne, and I had a problem with acne for probably 20 years. And I started using this stuff, and it has helped significantly reduce the acne because it helps to kill bacteria. It also goes a little bit deeper than most other moisturizers and lotions, and so I have noticed that my wrinkles have not increased since I've started using it. I don't know that they decreased, but it feels like they have not increased since I started using it, and it's fantastic. I rub it a little bit all over my face. They tell pregnant women not to ingest it. I don't know that using a little bit of topical castor oil on the face is going to hurt a pregnant woman, but definitely ingesting it for pregnant women can start uterine contractions, and we don't want you starting that before you're ready to have your baby. So just take note of that. But I think that is the only contraindication to using castor oil. Castor oil is great for all of the skin. So those are the three things: fixing your teeth if they are worn down or very, very crowded, making sure that you are protecting your skin by making sure that you're eating things that are going to support collagen and putting things on your skin that are going to support collagen, and then making sure that you are not overusing the muscle here by using a straw all day long or using a small open mouth container, but rather using a wide open mouth container. There are even big glass mason jars that come with lids, right? I know of people who have those, and they use those when they're traveling, and they just keep the lid on them, and so they always have a wide mouth container when they are traveling. They don't need a straw. I hope these tips help you find a natural way to reduce the aging effects that can happen around our lips.